Save it. There's
All
no.
right, we're
Yeah.
live. We're live. We're live. We're
Yeah.
live. We're live. Welcome to the Circuit Breakers podcast. We're down a host. Fiddler is not with us. No, Fiddler's here. Fiddler's with us, obviously.
Yeah. It's not
I
not
smoked
permanent.
a
It's
bit of
temporary.
weed. I smoked a bit. Well, I mean,
You can't make that claim.
if her behavior improves, she. No, she's not feeling well. It's not punishment. Punishment is actually appearing on this pod. That would be punishment.
If you're not well, that's it.
Or at all.
Punishment. Next time you're sick, you must join the pod.
Yeah, it's not keeping you out of the pod. No, I'm going to be honest with you. I did invite 2 potential co-hosts, but I did it literally 6 minutes ago, so I doubt either of them is going to join us.
Okay. Well, there could be a surprise.
Would you like to know one of them?
Surprise me.
Okay. Well, the surprise might be that neither one of them show up, so it's probably going to be the surprise.
Boy, could be anything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe it's a stripper.
Maybe it's Bryan Cranston. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure he is in Florida.
Well, you're not in Florida.
I'm sure he is.
I'm saying, but you're not, so he doesn't have to be. You're not in Florida. We're still able to do this podcast. He doesn't have to come to Florida to do it. Or even need
I'm saying saying he likes to hang out in the Tallahassee area.
Does he? Yeah.
He's friends with some of the professors at FSU.
Okay. Well, okay. You know a lot about Bryan Cranston. You wouldn't, even though I told you to repeatedly, you would not read his audio. You'd listen to his audiobook.
Yeah. Surprisingly, doesn't like the chemistry department there. Not what they teach.
A little too.
Not what they teach.
A little too.
But who teaches it?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So he is back in the area.
What you mean back? Where was he?
I don't know. Back from somewhere.
Okay.
Detroit. He was in Detroit.
All right. Well, we were gonna go to Detroit. Remember, we were our goal was to have a rap battle with Eminem. We were gonna openly challenge him on the streets of Detroit. Mile 69 or whatever. Yeah, we never got there.
What was it? 8 Mile? The 8 Mile?
Yeah, 8 Mile.
Yeah.
We got to Detroit. Obviously, you did not.
There's still time.
Yeah, I guess so. But it was we were gonna drive there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we're not doing that for sure now.
Yeah.
Unless
one day.
Yeah, I mean.
One day.
Yeah.
Maybe. What if little elves come out of this house? Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, the listeners can't see the elves. The house. Now you said that 911-2 just refuses to go to Detroit, right?
Should we go there?
She would.
For
Okay.
But maybe it wouldn't be her first vacation choice.
Well, she's been to all 50 states.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what city she was in.
Yeah, if it wasn't Detroit. I don't think she went to Flint. I don't think she went to Flint, Michigan.
Maybe. I've heard things.
I've heard things as well. Not good things, though. Just like the water's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So so I invited a couple co-hosts. I don't think anyone's going to show. It's probably too short notice.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
You never know.
Well, I did just get a response from our one listener, Fat Toe.
Oh.
He started cooking dinner, so he will not. I told him he will not be joining us. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Oh, next time.
Maybe.
Yeah. He could change his mind. Could be in the matter of minute. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck this dinner. I'm joining the pod.
He has a wife and children, so to him to abandon dinner in the middle of cooking it, for the whole family.
I see. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah. They come downstairs ready to eat, and they're seeing like half-made mac and cheese or whatever from a box, probably.
Yeah.
No, I think Fat Toe's a good cook, actually. I was just kidding.
Yeah.
He does a lot of great work on his grill. It seems like.
Oh, I see.
He's a good griller, you know.
Yeah.
He's got an inflatable hot tub. Which is fun.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fun. In his garage.
Cold.
When it's cold as fuck, he's out there in the hot tub.
Oh yeah. What state does he live in?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing. You asked a very penetrating question. That's a rarity for you. Let's go through the clues. It's cold there, so that limits several states, right?
Yeah. Because immediately I was thinking Florida.
No, it's not. He does not. He does not live in Florida. Yeah. He's in the same time zone. Does that give any sort of hint?
Yeah, time zone. Okay.
As us.
Yeah.
But he's not. But it gets cold where he is.
Yeah.
Any guesses? Any guesses?
It gets cold in Michigan.
Yeah, it does. It does. Bingo! It does get cold in Michigan. And weren't we just talking about Michigan like a second ago? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. That's in Michigan. Yeah. Detroit is in Michigan.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, I'm really surprised by your penetrating question. Have you been taking... I know for a little while you were taking entrepreneur classes. Are you taking podcasting classes? I welcome it.
It's always good to be prepared.
Have you been reading books about podcasting? Are there any? Because if there are, we should write one. We should write one about the podcast. The lazy person's guide to podcasting.
Yeah. 7 steps to a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Promise nothing else. That's it.
Well, we'll have a disclaimer on the back. So this does not mean you're going to have any listeners. Let's say it right up front. That's not what this book is about. If you're looking for listeners, you need to get another book. This is just for creating your podcast.
Yeah. You just create a podcast.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's going to be a successful one. That's not the point. There's a ton of successful podcasts out there. You don't need to go and follow them in their shoes and their footprints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
We don't have to shoot that high. You know what that means? That means tons of editing. That means actual meetings before the show starts among the people doing the podcast. Like maybe we can meet for an hour on a Saturday or something. Yeah, all right, yeah, that's another argument for another time. Yeah.
What is the phrase "shoot too high" in reference to?
I guess it's basketball, right? That's what I always thought.
Maybe
you overshoot the basket, you know.
Don't shoot too high. Shoot it in the hoop. Here's a tip: not too high.
I guess if you think about it, it's a pretty good saying because all of our sports at this point in our cultural history or whatever, every sport that we have is very rigidly created. The ball is exactly a certain size. The net is exactly a certain size. The net is exactly a certain number of feet off the ground for it to be considered that sport. And it's the same for all sports, right? The football has to be inflated a certain amount. If it's deflated, there's a big fucking scandal.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, don't get me started on football scandals.
Baseball, you can't take drugs to make yourself stronger. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, really.
They started putting asterisks next to the scores or whatever. So I mean, I guess it's the truth. It's like basically, play the game as it's intended. You know. That's all. That's what that means. You know.
Yeah. Play the game as it's intended.
Yeah.
to be played.
Right.
Ah.
You can't really change the cards that were dealt to you, right? You know that in poker.
Right.
It's got to play the hand.
Yeah.
But you don't want to overplay it. Because then people know, there's a fine ground there, If you go too high, then everyone will fold if you have a good hand. But if you're bluffing and you don't go high enough, everything, there's all these. If you go too high, people will think you're bluffing. If you don't build it beforehand, if you don't establish a bluff.
You got to know when to hold them.
You got to know when to run too. That was one of the things that I
yeah. Probably the most important lyric.
Yeah, probably.
I know when to run. That's the most important one.
Yeah. You gotta know when to walk away, but you really gotta know when to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is I feel like that is a skill you possess, my friend.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good skill.
Yeah. I feel like you've skated around a lot of problems,
Yeah, you gotta know when to run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's good advice. It's like, how do you fucking make that if you don't already have it? You know what I mean? Like that's just fucking years and years of making bad decisions. To hone that skill,
Yeah. Keep dodging it.
And you're gonna get a couple, just like our shitty ex-president Trump. You're gonna get a couple close calls in the year, like Nick's end of the year.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is good to walk sometimes.
Yeah, just gotta
walk away.
Yeah, you gotta know when to do it with each one. Yeah, but you gotta know when to do it.
Yeah.
What would walk away be in poker? Like, what is walking away?
Walking away is just
your beat. Your beat.
Like gracefully losing and just casually leaving.
Oh, leaving the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're winding down. You're like, oh, I'm gonna play 3 more hands or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you.
I never do it because I'm winning or losing though. It's always like a matter of I've had enough of this.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. I never.
Yeah, it's good. It's sometimes they say it's just one long game.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like that. I guess I don't know. I also like the thing that I really like about poker. And I guess this isn't 100% true, but because you're still playing with the same people, and I guess as you play with the same people, a little Malku and I, we have a bunch of friends that we play poker with on the VR, and you really kind of get to know them,
Yeah.
And usually we have to have a couple strangers on a table for any of us to really make money.
Yeah.
And some of them outright say something, which I don't like. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm your friend. Oh, I got 2 10s or whatever. There's a 10 out there." I don't want to know that because I have to. I want to assume. I don't want to trust that. So I have to assume that whoever's saying that, whether I believe them or not, is lying, and not have it affect my game at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try to do it no matter what they say. But when they say it, I know I'm losing. So I bet anyway because I don't want to have to decide that. Whether the person's lying or not. I just assume they're lying and not let it affect. They might be telling the truth. They might be lying. I don't know. So I'm just gonna play the game as if they said nothing about what cards they have. Because that's why would it be any different?
Yeah.
So I would so I end up knowing that they told me the truth and losing my money anyway because I'm not gonna not bet because I think I know what they have in their hands.
Right. You're like, even if they have it, so be it. More times than not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's still the right call. If it's not the right call, then if you're chasing or whatever, then you got other issues, and that's not shouldn't even figure into it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, chasing.
Like
Not good at gambling.
If you get a flush and they have a slightly higher flush, it's like, yeah, most of the time if you got a jack or whatever, most of the time you're gonna win that flush off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if they have a 10, they're gonna think they're gonna win, or 9 even, depending on what other flush cards are out there on the table. If there's a lot of high ones, and they're gonna assume that they have, you probably have a lower one. So most of the time you're gonna win with a jack or something, And so like I don't want to be in a position of going, wait, they said, are they telling the truth? And I always just don't let it figure it out. But then when I know that they're telling me the truth, and I end up just basically throwing the money away because I know I'm going to lose. I still bet. I bet as if I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to develop that habit,
Yeah, it's a good, pretty good game.
You know what I notice? Like a lot of the times, like when I'm playing with people that I know, I'll know something's wrong. I'll know it's being underbet or something, and I'll just fold. Like I'll know, like I don't know who it is, but I know something's like there's like a predator, like betting low so that you get invested into the hand. I can sense it sometimes,
Yeah.
Somebody has a full house, and they it looks like he might make a flush. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean you get to know a lot of their tendencies by playing with them.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're not seeing them. You're not seeing the facial expressions or anything, but there's still enough there that to like, when someone's acting quickly, or if they're rushing you, chances are they have a good hand. They don't want you to fold.
Mm-hmm.
So people would just take it real slow, and then wait for someone to say something, and then whoever says something probably has the better hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens it happens in all the games.
Yeah. Right, because when you're playing in real life, you can take as long as you want, right?
Well, you can, but at some point, someone can, if it's been like you've been doing it for like even in that hand, if it's taking a lot longer than what's deemed to be like acceptable, one of the players at the table can yell out "clock."
Oh, really? Okay. How many times does that happen?
I would say it probably happens like once every, 20 hours, something like that.
Okay.
And basically, then the supervisor and the floor, they come over, they say starting on my 30 seconds starting now.
Oh, really? 30 seconds? Yeah.
It's either 30 or 60 seconds, but that's and that's it. And then they just stand there and they wait.
What if they don't do it? Do they automatically fold? What happens if they don't?
Automatic fold.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's a play clock essentially.
Yeah. And sometimes it gets called on you, and the funny thing is when it gets called on someone.
Yeah.
Some people take that like as very offensive. They get angry.
It's funny.
They get very angry.
So do they investigate how long the person's been doing it?
So basically what happens, like the floor person comes over and the floor person asks the dealer, have they had like a reasonable amount of time to think about the decision.
Okay, got it. Right. Okay, good.
And most of the time they'll say yes they have. And then the guy's like, all right. It's not it's not a big
frivolously. You can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it's intended to like. You don't want people to abuse it.
Yeah, of course.
You want to keep the game going.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So, in tournaments, you might have there might be other time that goes along with it, but that's it. And sometimes it gets called on me. Sometimes I get the clock called on me.
Because you're being a little bitch.
Oh yeah, a little time to think about the decision. What should you do?
Your actuary is like within 0.2 points of separates the two probabilistic result sets, and you're like, oh, the intersection of the two probabilistic result sets is less than 0.7. I can't decide.
Nothing like that.
I have 7 outs, but I have 4 ins. I don't know.
Yeah.
Balances each other out. I can't make a decision. Time. Then what do you do?
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
assign random values and flip a coin? What do you do at that point?
No, I mean most of the time, really, is most of the decisions are like, does your opponent have enough hands he would be bluffing with in that spot? That's what you really like.
Yeah.
That's like a big kind of thing to look at. Because if your opponent wouldn't really be bluffing, then you could just fold weaker hands.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But it is true that like if you don't have a lot of experience as a poker player, the people are not really gonna know what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
So you get a little bit of a grace period where you're like an unknown.
yeah, for sure.
And I ever tell you about the traffic cone thing that I did?
The what is it?
Yeah, I guess I didn't. In the VR game, they have props, like little toys you can bring out. They have like remote controlled cars, stuff like that. And they have like what they call card protectors, which I guess it's probably in real life too. You just put something you just put some like magical keepsake that you think is going to bring you luck or whatever. You put them on the cards it's like
Yeah,
I don't know. You put them on top of the card. It's like a little eraser or an action figure or something. You just bring out. So they have like all those things, and one of them they introduced this traffic cone. It's like a yellow traffic cone, small, like that big, like as big as your hand.
oh yeah,
And so what I started doing was, it was like a couple months of me playing this game, like 3 or 4 months of me playing this game. I said every time I would tell people when I was playing, I was like, I gotta have a really good hand, and I'd bring out the traffic cone. And whenever I had a good hand, I brought out the traffic cone, and like basically like warning, you know.
yeah.
And I just did it all the times I had a good hand. I never lied about it. I never tried
Oh
bluffing or
yeah.
anything. I won millions of dollars in like 3 days doing that shit.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. They just don't believe it, huh?
Yeah, sometimes they do, but most of the time, yeah, they're like, he's lying. Why would he say what he has?
Obviously.
But I
Yeah.
just always did it, when I had a good hand. So they could never tell by my face. I was always doing it when I had a good hand.
Yeah.
I was sometimes doing it when I didn't have a good hand.
Right.
They just, a lot of them, people just assumed I was lying or whatever, or they had to see it,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, they people do have this. Like, I gotta see it.
And I did lose a fair amount anyway because, good hand pre-flop doesn't mean shit. A lot of times, it's like,
Right.
you can easily get fucking blown out of the water, Once you have like
Yeah.
a high pair, but like, I did it, I think I was doing it like maybe face card suited or above,
Oh. Yeah.
close to
Yeah,
each other.
that's a. Yeah, the ace is good to have in your hand.
Yeah, it is, of course. But a pair of
Yeah.
aces is still just a pair. It's like
Right.
you get blown out of water by three of a kind. It's like if two
Yeah.
pair if a pair shows up on the board, you're like, oh, I don't know now. Maybe two pairs, is possible there.
Yeah.
But ace is
Yeah,
good
those
because
are the-
ace is good because it beats all the shitty hands. It's a
Yeah.
good kicker.
Yeah,
If
fair.
nothing else, it's a good kicker. If you both
Yeah.
have 3 6s,
Right.
your ace is good to have.
Right. And when you have one of the aces, then that's less chance your opponent can have one of them.
That's true. Yeah, it's a good point. So yeah, you can figure that into your thinking about what possible. Yeah, somebody might not have a straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. The ace
Well, I
is
guess the
good.
straight would be the same. Straight's fine. Flush, it would still be the one card that they're looking for. That's the ridiculous thing about people chasing. You know what I mean? Like
No. Chasing
chances
flushes?
Are, yeah,
Yeah.
chances are low. But
Right.
by saying that, if I have an ace in my hand,
Ace high flush draw.
yeah, right. I mean, I'm more likely to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you never fold in the ace high flush draw. I mean, no one.
You won't fold.
No one ever.
Yeah, I guess not.
On
Yeah.
on the flop, like you would never.
No. Because also, if another fucking heart comes out or whatever, then you're like, people maybe have a lot of people have flushes, but you still got that ace.
Yeah.
And then even if it's no one else has a flush, still gonna be 2 pair or whatever, or 3 of a kind even. So yeah. Yeah. So I would just put that thing out. I put that thing out every time I had a good hand. I would watch out. I have a good hand. Watch out, and I'd put it down. And they never knew because a lot of times I'd fold the hand, no one would see it. So like they didn't know if I was lying or not, but I just never lied.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that had that fucking thing. It was in the store for one day, and people were like, "Where'd you get that?" And I was like, "Oh, it was on the store for 3 days." And then the fuckers put it back in the store like a month prior. They put it back in the store, and then suddenly everyone had those goddamn. They were all fucking with me. They were all putting their cones out. They're putting their cones in front of me. It totally disrupted the magic. I didn't care because I had like tripled my money. I think I had like a little under $1 million. I left that thing with like $3 or $4 million in the bank to do that. And I was playing at the lower stakes table, But that's what more gullible people are. The people who think like the algorithm's rigged against them, stupid shit like that. And like me, Shane is one of our frequent co-hosts, is another programmer. So like we laugh about how ridiculously hard it would be to actually rig this game.
Yeah.
Because how would you account for the idiots that are like folding a pair of kings or whatever? There's people doing dumb things, and the next hand, like the card comes out that they were waiting for, and they've already folded it. Like it'd be like impossible. It just seems so much harder to actually rig it in favor of. A lot of people think, and it's funny because it correlates in a strange way. People who they say something like this: "I bought chips, and ever since I bought chips, the game is making me have worse hands."
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
so the funny thing about that though is inherent in that confession basically is that they buy chips. They have to buy chips. So automatically, you do get some every month, from just joining. Like Molecule does like a monthly subscription to the game, so she gets like $100,000 or whatever in chips just for So, but a lot of people do rely on that. But so not everybody that gets money through the store is a bad poker player. She's a better poker player than me. But saying that the algorithm's against you when you started buying chips, I mean, you're confessing that you're just a bad poker player, basically.
Yeah, you're confessing like, wow, I have to keep buying poker chips.
Yeah, once I started buying them, I have to keep buying them. Yeah.
And whenever I buy more chips, I get worse hands. Yeah. By the way, that might be a tougher algorithm to program.
It would be almost impossible. Yeah. It'd literally be so buggy that it might as well not have that at all. It'd be making wrong people's harder or whatever. But they'll say that, it'll be like, but the thing is, like in that game, because a lot of these are like real life players that get upset that their real life experience playing poker doesn't really translate into like the VR computer generated poker.
Right.
You see a lot more hands because it's not real money. No one's folding even when they should.
Right.
If you raise like 500, they'll just throw it in there. This is not the real money. Is not it doesn't have the effect. So you've just seen a lot more hands. You've seen a lot more flops than you would.
Yeah.
Even that. I mean, just.
Do you think a lot of players are buying chips like with real money?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Roughly half.
Really?
Probably half the people, I would say.
Wow.
Because here's what's going on. The other people are taking. The people who have a lot of money are taking. This is a zero-sum game in here. There's no other way to make money. Either buy it or you take it off other players. There's no other way to get money in this game. So if you don't have to buy it, you've just taken money off players. Now Molecule has like 40 million. She's like before they even so that doesn't apply to her because she's actually had. It doesn't. It's like a drop in the bucket. The shit they give you every month.
Right.
But it probably does keep people playing the game and only having to buy new chips after 2 weeks into the month or whatever.
Yeah. They get limited.
Yeah.
$500 a month chip.
There's insane packs. I mean, and what they do is it's really smart. They have like double pack giveaways and certain holidays and stuff. I'm sure you went through that with your game.
I have been through that. There was some real. I tell you, these holiday specials they were outstanding.
I know, yeah, of course, yeah. It's like, hey, you're willing to buy this completely this thing that doesn't even really exist? How about 3 times the number of those things that don't really exist for the same price?
Yeah. Because like the day before the sale, you'd look at it and you'd be like $99. You're like, fuck no. the day after, it's the same price, but it's a better package.
Yeah,
You're like, what a deal!
Yeah,
What a
exactly.
deal!
It's 3 times what it was yesterday.
You're like, it's half off. You're like, oh wow, must get.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good trick that got used.
Yeah. Man, I think we're in a golden age of that kind of shit with all these microtransactions and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Capitalize. Just think of it this way: a game system was invented. Let's say 1979 was the first, like the Atari. 1979. You just buy the cartridge. You never had to pay another cent. You know, right? You might, later down the road, you might buy another game, but you probably, if you're a poor family, you probably have like 3 or 4 games. You're not buying a game every month or whatever. Most people,
right?
On the Atari, because actually it was pretty expensive. I remember it was pretty expensive. I think it would be like over $100 in today's money to get like an Atari cartridge. I think it was like $30 or something, which is insane for back then.
Yeah.
And that so that went on for a few years, and now we have this thing where like you get the basic game for free. Yeah. But if you want anything interesting, or make it easier, so you can play the game better, your character gets better armor or whatever, you gotta pay. You
gotta pay. And I think they got a really good algorithm because, like, once you pay, if you want to stay competitive, like you gotta pay a lot.
Yeah, right.
Because
otherwise you're on the lower tier of everyone who's paid more than you. Yeah.
There's always someone out there that's willing to spend a little more.
Yeah, of course.
And I think when they program how you could progress in the game, they have it's got a long life. Yeah. It might seem easy to obtain, but it's got such a long life to it.
Yeah.
They draw it out.
It's crazy.
And I think they draw it out to like some of the top people, they're spending like thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah, but I wonder how much of this is fucking money laundering.
I'm sure there's got to be some in there.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
Yeah. I mean, not the people spending the money.
Well, I'm thinking like if you send that through, it'll like clean up the money or something, no?
I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be credit cards, I guess. That really can't even go on these days. I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, they say a lot of Bitcoin is money laundering. How many of these games take Bitcoin though?
I'm sure. I'm sure they will soon if they don't already.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, I guess maybe money laundering is just such a broad term that it's like it loses all meaning at this point. Let's say that. Yeah. Let's say you're being blackmailed. And the terms are that you put so much money through this game, and then the person you're, losing to or whatever, is getting the money.
Right.
It won't be like payments. It'll be like you're just spending a lot of money on this shitty game. Right. I don't know. That's not really money laundering, I guess, right? I don't know, but
I mean, not really. It's like, well, if you already have the money, I mean, maybe you could be, you have to somehow get the money clean into the system before you can do that transfer.
Right, that's true.
There's got to be some other cleaning steps.
Yeah, you're right.
I think. I mean, I'm not a money launderer, but I think there.
Well, why would you feel the need to even state that? That sounded pretty defensive. How long have you been laundering money? How long have you been doing it?
I'm not a money launderer.
Okay, you want to say you're not a rapist? You're not a rapist either.
Anything else?
I won't say not a murderer because there's still a nagging doubt that you may be a serial killer. It's about 10% chance.
No, what about not a Christian?
Wow. Okay. Well, that was a little easier to say. Good point. Yeah, let's move. Let's change the subject off of money laundering. Yeah, I mean, I know nothing about it either.
Yeah, me either. Not a thing.
I was going to teach you about the origins of something that you and Malky probably know nothing about, anime.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't know much about it, right? You know, you've heard of it, obviously.
Annie?
Anime.
Yeah, no,
I've heard of it. I think we can say this: 9112 is half Japanese. Am I correct? Is that okay to say?
That's the left half. Yes. I'll sit on the left half.
All right, I had a bunch of jokes. I'm not saying them. So the it popped in my head. I can't be held responsible for that, but I just don't have to say them on the pod. That's I'm proud of that. What? So it allowed you to make fun of somewhat the Japanese people. You've made jokes about Japanese people in the past, and you've been quoted as saying, "It's okay, my wife is half Japanese."
Oh yeah.
So it's not out of the blue that I mentioned that.
Nothing is
out of the blue.
Nothing is off limits.
Well, it was interesting because I was like looking into what anime, because there's a new version of Rick and Morty, anime version. Have you heard of this? It's anime Rick and Morty.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, it's like
I've heard of both of them separately, but not together.
Right, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, anime.
Yeah. Well, there's a brand new. I don't want to call it a remake. It's not really a remake because the show's still on in America. It is a Japanese version anime. See, in Japan, they call everything animated. They call it anime. But here, in the English world, in the English-speaking world, we call only the Japanese stuff anime, which is odd. But to the Japanese, like even the old Rick and Morty is anime.
Huh.
So they have this weird Japanese version of Rick and Morty, basically. Now it's in English, but they have like mannerisms of like Japanese animated shows and stuff. And they look kind of Japanese, sort of.
Is it like one episode?
One episode so far, yeah. I think there's more though. I think it's weekly.
I think it's on Max.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or however you get your content. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was on.
It's magic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How did it happen?
I pay for this gray market, very nefarious Chinese, or let's just say Asian, not Japanese, website and service. And I pay so much a month, and I get access to questionable sourced content.
It's a pretty good description of the product, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've learned not to search for German porn. Let's just put it that way. Don't
say
do
no
it.
more. Obviously,
it's not what you think. I thought it was gonna be those Oktoberfest maidens, with their boobs. It's not. It's not.
What a disappointment that must have been.
I'm sure for some people, yeah, it was. They were overjoyed when they found out, but not me. So,
wasn't a good little treat.
No. Now, the weird thing about the Japanese, the early form of anime, it happened in the 1600s, and it involved, in the start, like very crude art, like sexual stuff. It was like these little, you've probably seen them, it's these little squares and a series of squares, and each one is like a different scene, but they're all the same style. Uh-huh. And some of it became like all of a sudden they were having sex and stuff, became pornographic, but because they didn't consider that like a corrupting force like we do in the West. But oddly they censor their porn in Japan, which is weird.
Oh,
a lot of it's pixelated.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. Oh, which is very odd. I've been following this anime rabbit hole.
Oh, I see.
I didn't know that about porn before, obviously. I learned about
Yeah. Or anything about German.
Yeah, I'm not what you would call a porn connoisseur or anything. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you definitely do not sound like it.
I believe that it is one of the most honest methods of filmmaking out there. It's literal like sex. I don't know if you get more honest than that. I mean, yeah, sure, they stop and start and this weird lighting issues and all kind of stuff like that. It might take an hour and a half to film 4 minutes. But in the end, and there's terrible actors, but in the end, it's literally a documentation of two people having sex, right? I mean, it's,
Yeah.
Can you get more honest than that? Doesn't mean it's entertaining automatically. It doesn't mean it's all entertaining or whatever, but it can't get much more honest than like...
Right. Down to the flesh.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Oh, man. So I think people who poo-poo it, literally, again, don't search for German porn. The ones that look down on it, I mean, I get that it's like, but I think they also, we used to think that about like television shows, it's sitcoms, like, oh, if you're on a sitcom, it's the end of your career. But now look at it, like, there's better TV now than like a lot of movies.
Yeah.
People are way into that shit now, NCU.
That's NCU.
All those shitty superhero movies,
Oh.
Iron Man 5 or whatever, shit like that. And you have to watch like 30 movies to understand what's going on.
Yeah, those are so good. How about that Fast and Furious 15? So good. I couldn't believe it was better than 14.
I tried watching one of those. I got through like maybe 15 minutes. I was like, all right, I get it.
I don't know. It's crazy. People must love those films. They keep making them.
Yeah, they must. They must love it. They must sell a lot of fucking tickets. They must.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I don't either. Well, I got to change the episode number. Why didn't you tell me the episode numbers wrong on the podcast?
52.
It's 53 now.
Huh, look at that, huh? Are we considering this 2 episodes? That was episode 52. This is episode 53.
That's fun.
Welcome to the podcast.
We're the Circuit Breakers, if you're just joining us. This has been, in fact, episode 53 the entire time. I was just too stoned to make the change in time to even notice it.
I think Molecule will do the investigation on that.
All right, yeah, we're going to save that for the next pod.
Yeah. That's a good topic. Did 52 podcast already happen? Circuit Breakers podcast.
I feel like we did way more than that before we were pre-numbering.
Pre-numbering.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you got to put a stake in the ground at some point.
How about this? This is our 53rd podcast. I don't care what the format was, what the names are. This is our 53rd episode. Does that sound about right? That's probably right.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we've certainly done over 30 podcasts, right, in various forms over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 52 weeks in a year.
On Earth.
And we've been doing this for over a year.
For sure.
Should it be a higher number? What do you think?
I mean, we can make it whatever number we want.
I know, yeah, we could, but at some point we have to stick to it and go with it. You know what I mean? I think Molecule. You know a good idea what Molecule might like? Yeah.
Maybe while she's not feeling well, she can just listen back through all the past podcasts and count back to see how many there were.
Real much worse.
I'll offer that as maybe some medicine.
It's pretty sharp. I'll give you that. It's pretty sharp.
Was this really 53?
Unfortunately, though, my friend, we don't have all of them on YouTube. Some of them have been lost.
Lost than ever. Lost forever, huh?
Some of them, yeah.
It's all right. That's gonna happen.
Most of them we have.
Yeah, just like let's say you go fishing. Sometimes you lose some fish.
Not once you get them in the boat.
sometimes it's sometimes one might get out.
Yeah, I
You're
guess it's
lifting it up.
happened.
Hey, look at this big one.
And you
Flops
bite your
right out of your finger
Yeah, right. That's true. He's playing dead until you can
in
get
the
out of the
water.
water. Yeah, you're right. It's happened. I know that's happened.
Yeah.
For sure,
He's
smart.
splashing a lot down there to be like, take a picture of me.
Yeah, right.
Get me out of this thing.
Yeah,
Gets in his thumb, out he goes.
right. Damn.
Yeah.
Got a point. That's a good metaphor for life too.
Yeah. What do you think the fish is thinking?
Oh, you get yanked
Is
into
it?
a whole other reality, one that you never dreamt of, and with these giant ape-like creatures that are like slapping you around, and you're trying to struggle to breathe.
Yeah. Like
And all
are
you
the
do is
fish
flop.
are the fish intelligent only to the point that they know this is not good for them?
I think they're having trouble breathing, so I think it's pretty quickly going to become apparent that like they're, gonna die unless they get back in the water.
And they're like fuck, I'm a fish out of the water.
I don't think they have that concept because it happens so few times that they survive. There's probably fish stories about how like it's weird land,
Yeah.
like they're only describing boats.
Yeah.
They think all humans live in boats, and there's like maybe dozens of them out there on the water at any given time.
Yeah.
I'm sure the dolphins and the whales and everything, I'm sure they have no concept either. They only see the humans that are near the shore.
Yeah. Yeah, those creatures have been there for hundreds of millions of years.
Yeah, for sure. In the Bahamas, on the fishing trips, eventually the dolphins come and drive away all the fish. Which
really?
I think is them being intelligent, and they're just stopping. They know that they're taking their food. So
Yeah.
a little bit. Once they find out where they are, then they come over, and once the dolphins come, the fishermen know to stop for the day because the fish are all gone. They have to outrun them. They have to outrun them in the boat. Sometimes he said it's like 15, 20 minutes to try to drive away from the dolphins.
Yeah. And guess what the dolphins have to do all day? Whatever they want.
Yeah, but they have to do it within water, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could just wait for those boats. Swim around, look for boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or save this dumbass's life. You know my dolphin story. The dolphin saved my life.
Yeah.
I'll save that for another pod.
Yeah.
So
They save their prey.
They saved their prey.
The fish.
Right. They weren't hungry enough to eat it. They just didn't want it to be taken away. It's like basically swimming lunches for them.
Right. Yeah.
But they only ate when they were hungry. And they probably only went after the older ones, the slower ones.
Yeah.
Stragglers. And now these
this
assholes
is
are coming in and picking out the ones that are. See what's going on with fishing too, and shitty is that like we've been, I don't know. Have you ever been fishing? You have, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to, pick only a certain size fish. You're supposed to take them back. So
Right.
they have to be over 8 inches or 12 inches or whatever. Or you got to throw them back. But what's been happening now is that we've just been taking all the fish that are naturally bigger. They could be real young, but big. And we've been taking them out of the water. So now we're making the fish population in just a couple hundred years. The fish population is decreasing in size because they're taking all the big ones out.
Yeah. Yeah. Could see it.
So now they're saying you have to start doing it randomly now instead of have so much of each rather than like one particular size.
Right. You can take 6 fish.
You have to figure out
whatever size you want. Whatever size you want.
Well, they can't all be big because then you're also getting the most money out of the fish if they're big. So you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna. Yeah. You can only choose 6. You're only gonna pick the biggest ones. So that's a shitty way to do it, I think, too.
Maybe you get greedy early. You're like, I picked this fish, and you're like, oh, here's my smallest fish of the day. But I've already picked him.
Maybe. Yeah. All right.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe he was on the stringer and dead.
You can't replace any fish. You're saying.
Right.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Keep the fish yours.
And maybe you only want to
You can
catch
throw it away.
in the back in the water.
Yeah. By the way, fish is. I mean, it's okay to eat. It's not that great.
I like sushi. I'm a big fan of sushi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like sushi a lot. There's this
Yeah, I
buffet
never.
this Chinese buffet restaurant down here. I don't think Molecule didn't want to go or whatever when you guys were visiting. Yeah, it's not great, but they have a pretty, and you don't like sushi, so it's kind of wasted on you. But they have a pretty extensive sushi roll collection in there. It's pretty good.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I put it on par with some of the middle tier restaurants in New York City, not the places like that are like $200 tasting menus and shit like that. Of course, those are amazing, but like the lower tier sushi places in New York.
Yeah.
It's on par with that, I would say.
Yeah, I imagine that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good enough. Spending hundreds of dollars on really good sushi.
Yeah.
But I love that poke trend in New York.
Poke. Yeah, I never been.
We got it here, but it's not anywhere near as good.
Yeah. How about that burger place? Huh?
Closed down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's now a coffee shop.
What was Molecule eating at that burger place?
Oh, they had a good selection of veggie only burgers.
I see.
And they were good.
What made that burger so good?
Just the way that they did it. Like I've tried 3 or 4 of them. I don't know. Just some combination of the way they cook it. It's just really good. The bun is nice. The fries are pretty good. Yeah, it was a good place, and it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's important when all the parts of the burger are done well.
Not well done.
I'm saying like done correctly.
Yeah,
like
exactly. But that's true with steak too, and a lot of places fuck that up with steak. Peter Luger's fucked that up when I was there.
Some people pay no attention to the bun. And they're like, "Oh, any old bun will be fine."
Yeah, that's true. I don't like that. I like a good bun.
Yeah, all the attention to detail is good. Like, I don't want a big piece of lettuce on there.
You know where this breaks down? Like, I think the basic is best is tacos.
Tacos.
The hard taco. I want it to be the cheapest cheese. It's ground beef, the cheapest cheese. With the obviously with the taco mix.
Yeah.
You don't want onion, obviously, but I like a little onion on there and tomato, and it's just a little bit like a layer of each of the lettuce, and that's it. That's
yeah.
You don't have to get fancy with that shit. I don't need Gruyere in there. You know what I mean? This is made with fancy goat cheese. I don't need any of that shit in my taco.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't want that either.
Shit. Yeah. So with that, a burger is a little different. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. Nothing beats doing it at home on your own anyway. Nothing beats that on the grill.
At home on the grill.
Yeah,
if you could do it right.
Well, you have to be a halfway decent cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
people just butcher that. Some people butcher that burger.
I know.
Like if that were to come out at a restaurant, I'd be like,
yeah.
Like really?
Yeah, exactly.
They pay no attention.
Yeah.
Let's let that meat fucking.
Yeah.
Dry up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not. Push it down.
Oh, well done hamburgers. I don't understand at all. I don't get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Steak. I mean, if you're not really enjoying the steak, because those same people who fucking cook it way overdone also use like A1 and shit like that. It's like you're taking cardboard.
Right.
And it's like a mechanism for fucking delivering A1 steak sauce into your mouth. You're eating like cardboard at that point,
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Yeah.
It's the same people. They get it well done, and then they fucking dip it in A1 steak sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't like it like that.
Yeah. I like it medium rare. For me.
Yeah, I've been going a little medium.
Yeah. Okay.
Lately.
No red at all.
No, there's red in there.
A little bit of red, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, different places have a different idea of what that means too.
And if the steak's thick, then the medium rare is like really rare.
Yeah, right. Like the Pittsburgh or whatever, right? Is there a Pittsburgh thing of it or something where it's like raw in the middle, basically?
Yeah, some of it, yeah, it's so thick.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't like. I know it's safe because the actual, the stuff that could harm you is on the outside of steak.
Yeah.
Where you're cooking it, so I know it's not going to hurt you if it's raw in the middle. And some Japanese places serve raw steak.
Right.
So I don't think it'll kill you, but yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't know. It's not. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost my train of thought.
Yeah, me too. What were we talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh, is there a game?
Did you bring your D20? If you brought your D20, then there will be a game. Do you have your D20?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going up to get it. You're going up to get it.
I got that somewhere.
Yeah, you're going up to get it. See? I don't even know where mine is, honestly. All right, game is off. I can't find my die. I can't.
I think I lost.
This is just dead air at this point.
You know what I think?
Let's talk about AI news. Did you see? I just sent you.
You know what? I think Donovan 1-2 hit that D20. That's what I think.
She knew you had a problem with the dice. She didn't want you. There you go. That's your next gambling addiction. Now, do you know a lot about odds and stuff like that? Do you play like any of that shit? Do you bother doing like a blackjack or fucking craps? Like, do you feel like you can make money there? Do you have a system, quote unquote? Like,
no, not for those games.
No, right?
No.
That's just like in the poker game, and I imagine it's like just like real life, it's just slight, obviously, exaggeration in the virtual world. They just fucking suck your money away, and it's like you're pressing a button, and it's like winner. And I guess they let maybe 20% of people win, whatever, so a legal amount. But you got like basically like a 1 in 10 chance of coming out ahead every time you play.
Yeah, you know why? Because the casino they take money out of the pot for the commission, and it just takes money away from all the players. That's where it all comes from.
I see. Yeah, good point.
And then they've been raising that a little. Even when they raise it, like, I mean, you're a math minor. I mean,
it's for the benefit of our audience, obviously.
If they were taking $4 and then they like, oh, I'm going to take a fifth now.
Yeah.
That's a 25% increase. That's a lot.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. And they could just do that. You have to decide not to play there. Is that? I mean,
you could.
But most people only have like one casino near them, really. You're lucky you have multiple ones, but most people probably only have one within driving distance.
Yeah.
Right? I mean.
But after a while, you're like, okay, well, they just kind of like, fine, that's the cost.
But with poker, you're playing against other players, right? But with like blackjack, you're playing against the house.
Yeah, blackjack's completely different. Because it's you against the house in every hand. It's everyone against the house.
Obviously, it must be in their favor, or they wouldn't be playing it. So obviously,
of course,
it's in their favor. Yeah.
Of course. Like blackjack, I'm not studied. However, if you like make all the correct moves, and there's some like little card that would show you how to make every correct move. If you do that, you're a slight underdog in the game.
Right.
If you play perfectly according to math, without counting cards, like if you play that way, I think you lose like 1% of your bets in the long run.
Okay, that's not bad.
But no one really remembers all that stuff, and they like to do other kind of fun shit. So when they do other fun plays or don't hit things like that, then the house's edge goes up even higher because now they're making more mistakes than optimal play. So that's how they really kind of do well.
So unlike poker, I guess in a way like poker, you can't really be conservative. It's the same as being like too loose because you're not winning as much money as you would win. You're folding more hands.
Yeah, it's a balance of playing enough hands so it's believable that sometimes you won't have always good hands.
Yeah, but that's not the case in blackjack because it's just all out new.
Right.
It's all new.
Right.
You don't see what obviously you don't see what the dealer has in the second card, but
right. Yeah. No bluffing in. in blackjack.
No. But if you play too conservatively and you don't hit when you're supposed to, then you could not make as much money and in the end lose, because you're not making as much as you could.
You'd be making the kind of the wrong plays on that card.
Right, consistently.
Yeah.
Like if it says, I don't know, if it says to fold, this is dumb. Let's just say it says to fold if it's 10 or lower. If you consistently don't do that, then you're playing like in a way that's not. Yeah, right. Either way, too quick, too loose, or too conservative, and you're paying the price. It's better. It's in their favor. You're right. That's crazy. Yeah. What fucking genius translated these games that people were playing with each other into like a fucking game where I'm running it and now you pay me money, a percentage of every game.
Yeah, and all the games are structured where there's decisions that players have to make, and if they don't make optimal decisions, the house edge just goes up more and more.
Right. Yeah. True.
That even happens in 3-card poker or Pai-Gow poker.
Right.
All kind of games like that.
Yeah.
Like the house has an edge, and then it gets bigger as you make bad decisions.
That's crazy.
Like with roulette, it doesn't matter because you're always.
It doesn't matter. You always have the double zeros up there.
Right. I mean, you're always with 2 zeros. You're always giving up more little one 5% edge,
right.
and every bet.
Exactly. Yeah. And eventually, over the night, they're gonna win with that.
Yeah.
Because it's evenly distributed. Doesn't matter if you're a high roller or a low roller. The chance of double zero coming up are the same, no matter what bet's on the table.
Yeah.
So it evens out in the end. Yeah, I mean, I know, it's amazing. People line up and play that shit.
Yeah. And what some of them do, so there's roulette tables where they have sometimes 1 0.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll have 2 zeros. And now you see a lot more where they have 3 zeros.
That's crazy. Wow.
And 3 zeros really gives the house a very big edge.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just think of it this way. If you just literally every round, you just bet red every single round. Don't vary that. If the double zeros weren't in there, you'd have a 50-50 chance of winning. At the end of the night, conceivably, there are weird outliers where you could be down $1,000, because black could come up 20 times in a row,
Right.
It's happened before. But yeah, if you just play that way, so adding those two things just makes it so that every once in a while you're just going to lose it, no matter what, 50-50 or not.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody fucking convinced people to do it. I guess it's just enough.
Yeah.
Right, it's just enough.
Yeah, the edge is it's not big, so it just slowly ekes away some money from you. But there's a chance, you can you get lucky.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy that someone came up with this shit.
Oh yeah.
Thousands. Or whatever.
Been going on forever.
Yeah, people have been gambling since they invented dice.
Yeah. Everyone likes to gamble, huh?
It's random shit,
Yeah. What do you think? What is the gamble? Why the gambling? Why do people like the gambling?
Do you have any sort of lucky thing? That's jacket or a hat or something that you wear?
Nothing.
It's all dumb, right? It's just dumb. I never understood it.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's
just yeah. Yeah, I don't do anything like that. What I should. It is good to just like with any game. Let's say you're playing, Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't know how to play.
You played once. It didn't go well. It didn't go well.
I don't remember it. I can imagine it.
Yeah. Good. That's probably for the best.
I can imagine it not going well.
No, it did not go well. I think you were abrasive. You might have been drunk. You probably were drunk.
It's very possible. Yeah. I could see it happening.
You're possibly the second worst player that I've ever played with. That's a fact.
Damn it. It's so close. So close.
Exactly. You were real close to being number one. That was a person who's also been on a podcast with me who's the worst Dungeons & Dragons player.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, for a while there, it seemed like maybe your wife and him were getting along a little too well because they're playing D&D together. Remember that? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was in his younger years when we played it. He had by the time we played it with 9012, he had a much improved player. It was the younger years version of himself that was a terrible Dungeons and Dragons player. But he's much improved. He's improved, so I don't fault him.
Oh yeah.
How do we get on this subject? How do we get on this subject of Dungeons and Dragons? Oh, the randomness. You were like anything like Dungeons and Dragons. You're talking about the randomness of the dice or whatever.
Oh right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. What was your point? You brought Dungeons and Dragons.
That point has been lost.
Well, we were talking about casinos, and we were talking about the odds of rolling the things. We were talking about the double zeros on the roulette.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
None of that's ringing a bell.
Oh yeah. Now
okay, here we go. Oh, isn't weed great?
Yeah, it is good. Sometimes you lose your train of thought.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What was your
because like when you play Dungeons and Dragons, like it benefits the people playing the game if they study the game or know the rules a little better. Maybe they know some strategies.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, true.
And the more you keep up,
it's also a game where if it's run properly, you can like learn the stuff as you're playing. You can learn. Yeah. You start you on a very basic level, and when you start off, like you only have one or two things you can do depending on the class you've chosen. So it's like it does encourage you to learn as you play for your class. Like you start. People have no idea. They start off usually with a simpler class. So when they start playing, it's like they only have one or two options each round to do, and you quickly learn which one's best for your character. Choose one, you choose the other. This one works. This one doesn't quite work. Yeah, it's lower stakes in the beginning of the game that allows you to have more fun and try different stuff that you have. So you don't have to study it necessarily to play.
Maybe we'll play a game on the next pod.
We should play a game of D&D. We should. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do it on the pod.
That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah. Maybe there's some morph into a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Yeah, very well could. See what happens. See what happens when Molecule gets sick.
Yeah, we come up with great ideas. All right, so for the next episode, I'm gonna walk you guys through creating a character and rolling dice to see what your stats are. I think some of it. I think some of it.
D20?
Yeah, you would need your D20. Some of it will seem familiar to you, probably from the games that you've been a game player. You do play games on the phone. A lot of that stuff is taken from D&D, simplified. Like hit points. You understand that now, right? So you see it get to 0. You know that you're going to be unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Start off with like 10. Every time you get hit, you might take 1, 2 off each time you get hit. It's wounds, basically. So if you get to 0, your character goes unconscious, and you cannot perform anymore until someone revives you or the combat's over. So that's what you want to do. You want to minimize your loss of hit points. That's just the whole early game. And inflicting damage so that the monsters you're fighting take damage. You want them to be unconscious instead of you. So you're choosing where to go and who to hit with whatever thing you want to hit them with, or some action you want to do. So that's the entire. The game is not complicated in the beginning. It gives you enough that you're like learning. By the time it's like the next level of your character, you're ready for like a little added wrinkle. You're getting a little stronger, so you're liking it. But it does a good job of like not throwing you like just learn all the shit at once.
I see.
Yeah, so we will. That's a good idea. Yeah, we will. I don't think
we'll find out next Monday.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna have
7:00.
Well, I don't know. Well, actually, I don't think Molecule's gonna be able to do it next Monday.
What if we do it at 7:00? What if we do it at 7:05?
No, I think she's going out of town for a couple days, starting on Monday morning. I think.
Was
So
everything
no
all
pod
right?
next week. Yeah, it's a work thing.
Should she be traveling when she's not feeling well?
Oh, it's next Monday.
I see.
It's only Monday today. It's 1 week from today. So I think she'll be better by then.
How many nights is she gonna be gone?
I think 3 or 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Just me and Lemba. That's it.
Yeah, is that limit? Is that limit back there?
No. No.
What?
That is a stuffed animal I got Molecule for her birthday.
Oh, it's very
a
nice.
Stuffed bat. In honor of Halloween, it's a stuffed bat.
Well, it kind of looks like a pair of dog eyes.
You're right.
Distance. I was like,
you're right. It does.
Yeah.
Were you freaked out by it? Were you freaked out?
Yeah.
I forgot it was back there.
Because I'm seeing it on the phone, and then it's hard to see, but I was like, holy shit.
That thing hasn't moved.
I know. I was like, I'm looking at the thing. I was like, yeah, that's definitely a dog. I mean, what else would it be?
A stuffed bat, obviously.
A stuffed bat.
Yeah. You mistake it for a dog. If I bring it up to you, you're gonna laugh at how ridiculous it looks. At you. Yeah, I'm getting it.
No.
Keep talking for a little bit. Tell a story or something. All right, I have it next to me. I have the stuffed bat. Did you see it? Did you get a good look? I tried to hide it from you.
I pinched into the picture earlier.
Oh, so you know what it looks like.
Yeah. I only saw the head though. The head. That's a very good bat.
You thought that was a dog.
Why does it have a broken heart?
Well, it's
there is an answer.
He has a little story. He has a story.
Oh, okay, got it.
He has a broken heart. He's another bat left him or something. It's complicated.
Well, oh yeah, I'm seeing something someone in the chat is saying. Tell me some more about that.
You're such a liar. No one in the chat. How dare you misrepresent our audience like that?
Fans want to know.
There's literally nothing to it. It's close to Halloween. I know that Molecule doesn't like scary things, but I thought it was just cute enough. It's like one of those Uncanny Valley things where it's like, it's not obviously like it's not like a horror. It's not like bloated and like it's just a cute horror, a cute bat. You know what I mean? A bat, he's he can only be so cute, right? I mean, he's still got to be a bat,
Yeah.
Can't you want something cuter? Don't be a bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With the eyes of a dog from a distance.
You were convinced that it was a dog. You were creeped out.
I still think it is. Still might be a dog.
I bet you get creeped out for a second. You're like, what? That dog hasn't moved the entire time. Is it dead? You're probably thinking that. Right?
Well, no, when I noticed it, I kept looking at it and I was like, that's a dog. But it was just a stuffed bat.
But there must have been a point where you were like, at first you're like, oh, there's a dog back there. But then after an hour, you're like, that dog hasn't moved at all the entire time on this podcast. Hasn't lifted a paw.
If I see some lightly glowing eyes, I might first think, is that a stuffed bat?
But you didn't even know it was stuffed. You just thought it was a dog. You just thought it was a dog. You didn't
Yeah.
So no way you were thinking it was a bat, obviously.
Not a stuffed bat.
You think it would be a real bat? That I'm somehow stapled to the couch or something? What? You're a sick person.
Hasn't been flapping around.
Exactly. I would have to like nail it to the fucking couch.
Yeah.
If it was a real bat. All right, I think this is a good podcast. I think we did good for having Nightmare Molecule.
This is good.
Yeah.
2 episodes and 1.
That's up for debate. Molecule will decide.
Yeah. She has the pleasure to watch all the previous ones.
That's true. Yeah, you can bring that up with her when we next time. Next pod.
Look, I saw the look in her eyes. And I think she wants to do an executive summary of all the episodes.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
I don't know if she's explicitly asked, but I kind of got the feeling that was she might like that. That also may make her feel better.
It's very similar to all the other of your other medicines that you as far as prescribed.
Yeah. I think this will do the trick.
I know I hate hearing my voice. I'm pretty sure Molecule does too, my own voice. That's why I can't. It's tough to listen.
Yeah. I couldn't listen for.
I think we'll be able to in a couple
more
years.
Than a minute.
Maybe we'll be able to in a couple years.
Yeah, maybe.
Look back at it and laugh about it,
Yeah.
All right. That'll teach me.
Stay salty. You'll get your nuts.
Something about that.